So now it's official. Welcome to our panel! So our group is called Diamond, and we're going to go around and kind of introduce ourselves and like tell you where we're from and everything. All right.
So I am Carina, and I am from Holly Springs. What was that? Oh, pronouns. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm from Holly Springs, which is a town a little bit south of Raleigh.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Romi. I use they them pronouns, and I'm from Fuquay, Verena.
Alright, my name is Courtenay. I'm actually from a very small town towards the East Coast. It's called Red Oak, North Carolina. And I use she, her pronouns, but if you call me they, I don't care. It's kind of just whatever.
Hello, my name is Charlotte. I'm from Fuquay as well, and my pronouns are she, they. This way.
Are you sure?
No, it's around the front.
It's all around the front.
Around the front. It's right here. It's okay. It's just in the back. Just go along the back.
All right.
Hi, my name is Abby. I'm from Clayton. Yeah, ain't nobody know where that is. And my pronouns are she, her.
Hello, my name is Eunsung. I use all pronouns, and I'm from Durham.
Hi, my name is Ingrid. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina, and I go by she, her.
Sounds so crackly.
It is very crackly. But you also are dragging it between 7 people.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go ahead. Oh gosh, I'm trying to be as far away from the speaker as I can. Oh.
No, I don't. Love this. I just
okay. So pretty much, why are you guys here? For obvious reasons. You either want to come see us lovely people, because why not? But you also want to learn a little bit more about like K-pop and like how they go through things. If you already like K-pop, you probably want to learn just a little bit more about like how we got into it, or even just like the how some of the companies run things, or you pretty much just got dragged here by a friend and you're just here now and listening to us ramble. Alrighty. Alright, so we are a K-pop dance group out in Raleigh. Goodness gracious, I'm sorry. We are formed by Dia Dance Studio, and they're kind of from Cary as well. So we became an official group in 2019, September 2019. We have put out 2 covers on our channel, as well as some of the members had also put out a cover. And we also performed at Korea Fest in 2020 before the world shut down. And that was pretty good. And then this is our second big performance for you guys, which is today. Big reunion and our quarantine comeback. Hey.
So there is 7 of us right now, but sadly we actually have 8 members. One of our lovely members, her name is Crystal. She cannot join us due to still COVID issues and quarantining, but she's still a part of the group, and so we wish Crystal was here. We miss you, Crystal! We miss you. Okay. I was gonna say don't play it yet. Help. Just say it again.
We'll play that at the end of the panel if you guys want to see one of our covers. Okay, so kind of backstory on the studio itself that kind of helped us be who we are. So we started off as the Dia Dance Studio back in like 2017. So Dia in like 2018 kind of kind of sort of branched off into K-pop because it was getting more popular, and they actually competed at the Hamadong Festival was it November 2018? November 2018. In 2019, they also competed at Korea Fest that winter, I guess you would say, like February, and they won first place, and we also hosted 2 K-pop showcases that year, so we were really busy. 2020, of course, due to COVID, we couldn't really do but so much, so some of the girls ended up getting together and put out a cover of Wow Thing. So we are actually, and now it's come to 2021, and we're back together. Oh yeah, oh, that's right, it is in 2021 too. So 2021, we're back together. We're gonna try to put out as much stuff as we can cover-wise, and we do already have a solo cover out on our second channel, which we'll probably mention later as well, that Romi here did. So, excitement. Alright, so when, how, and why? What, story time. Carina, how did you get into K-pop?
Alright. So to keep it simple, I used to do gymnastics for a lot of my lifetime, and it took up so much of my days. And so I didn't have a lot of interest outside of the sport until I left the sport, and I got to find out like what my other interests are, and I got into anime, which I'm sure I see as some of you are into, and that was a bit of my bridgeway into K-pop. I know an anime account that I used to follow on Instagram, it turned into a K-pop account, and I realized that, and I was like, I saw some like content, and it was interesting to me, and dancing was also a bonus to keep me active after leaving gymnastics, and I really enjoyed that.
Sorry. I got into K-pop in late 2016 when I entered 6th grade, and I met someone who I don't talk to anymore, but I met someone and I was getting to know them, and I was like, what music do you like? They were like, I like K-pop, and I was like, I don't know what that is. So they explained that to me and what K-pop is, and then they showed me a couple songs, and I was like, wow, I really like this. So I got to know it more, and then I saw like the music videos and stuff, and the music videos have bits and clips of the dancing, and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. So, you know, you would go into their channels and you would see them dancing. So I just put one on and I learned it. And then from there, I just kept learning dances of songs that I liked, and I just kept learning dances of songs that I liked, and then I'm still doing it 4 years later.
Cool. My story was actually like one of the YouTube channels did like a react thing to K-pop, and they ended up having like 3 of one of the bigger artists at the time, and I ended up watching that, and I like dove pretty deep since then, and of course I really like to dance since I was like really young, so of course the dancing was definitely a plus, and like as Carina said, kind of kept me active since I didn't do swimming anymore. But yeah, I mean, pretty much just dove in, and now I'm stuck.
I also found K-pop through anime, and I was on and off in the K-pop fandom, like fan base for a while, and getting into the music on and off for a couple of years until my sister got heavily into K-pop with her friends and dragged me in by the ankles, and I had to leave my sport as well. I did cheerleading for a while, and the K-pop choreography really helped me stay active and became a passion for me. So that's why I like dancing. Yay!
So I've been a dancer my whole life. So when my friend this was like my baby, I had just gotten into anime at this point, and my friend at the time was like, I like anime, and I just started listening to this group. You would like them, and I was like, oh, who is it? And they were like, it's K-pop, and I was like, okay. And she was like, they're called Blackpink, and I was like, okay. So I went on to Apple Music, and I found Blackpink, but they looked boring. and I scrolled down to related artists, and I just pressed on a different group, and I was like, okay, I'll listen to them instead. But I'm a blink now, so which is the ironic part. But now I'm here, so dancing, and I auditioned. Yeah, that's it.
I've been doing ballet since I was like little, like really serious, and so I actually got into K-pop from one of my dance seniors. She went to Dia a lot, and she literally dragged me there, and then she just threw me in one of the covers. But I also did watch, because I like anime, I watched a cover. It was like Attack on Titan cover of Not Today by KCDC. That's really good.
So similar to Courtney, actually, I saw a YouTube React video. I think in like it was in like 2015, like the end of 2015. So I kind of got into it just very, very slightly, very slightly, and then I dropped it because middle school. And then I got back into it in 2017, the beginning of 2017. And ever since I was younger, I've always been a dancer, basically at heart more so than like trained. And because I'd always struggled finding the style for myself. And basically when I found K-pop, it was just like perfect. And so I went to Dia, they had a party, and I think 2019, and then eventually I auditioned, and then here we are.
What is K-pop? You may be asking yourself. I'm going to talk about the origins and globalization of how we got to where we are today. And it may sound a little bit like a school lecture in the beginning, but it will make a little more sense later. So the emergence of modern K-pop, or Korean pop popular music, can be dated back to around 1987, a year with a lot of political change that led to the democratization of South Korea. And so naturally, this resulted in an increase of Western influences during the 80s and early 90s, which appeared through musical elements such as rap, rock, jazz, R&B, and a lot of other genres, in addition to the sounds of contemporary Korean music. On the top right corner, you will see a picture of Sotaejian Boys, which were a group that opened the doors to modern K-pop after releasing their debut track called I Know, topping Korean music charts for several weeks. And the band's unique sound, incorporating Western hip-hop and R&B, outshined the slower ballads which were more popular in the country at the time. And so the group earned a large following and inspired more bands to experiment with a similar sound, giving rise to idol culture, which is basically an umbrella term for fans who follow a particular musical act, like idols in Japan and Korea. And then after the success of this group, entertainment agencies, which we will explain a little bit later, began recruiting potential performers for intensive idol training in order to satisfy the demand for new talent. And this training regimen was based off of a similar practice used in Japanese popular music, and led to the creation of bands including KOT in 1996 and Baby Vox in 1997. Then, in the 2000s, K-pop continued to expand with groups like Big Bang, Wonder Girls, and 21. And then in the past decade, K-pop has become even more popular with mainstream and Western audiences, as many of you may already know, is recently largely due to the major success of BTS. And this boy band who debuted in 2013, oh, the army bomb. That is the Phantom's light stick, BTS's light stick. And so BTS became the first K-pop act to be nominated and to perform at the Grammys, which, if you don't know, is the most prestigious. It's a big musical award show for all genres and all musicians of all ages. And so this, amongst a lot of other achievements, have exposed them to the Western audience. And they have continued to chart internationally, break records, and sell out tours. And so their success has risen the platform of recognition for the entire K-pop industry.
Sorry, the mic thing is tedious.
Is it mine?
Ah, you skipped.
This one.
This one. You skipped two. Bestie. Let's get into what you would do if you were a K-pop idol. First, you have to get into a K-pop company. The logos underneath there, those are known as the big three. They are credited for really kind of pioneering K-pop, and they had the biggest K-pop groups under them, so they're known as the big three. K-pop companies and what they do. So K-pop companies hold auditions, and they just go scouting like all over the world. So each company is like really different in how they work, but basically they'll scout you, or you audition, you get in to their program, and then you'll sign a contract, and then they'll teach you how to sing, dance, rap, and sometimes speak other languages, sometimes acting, you know. Training periods vary, but you can expect to train for a year before you become a K-pop idol. The shortest time a K-pop idol has trained is 1 day. The longest time someone has trained is 11 years. G-Dragon, he's so funny. Oh, once you're done with your training period, the company will either put you in a group, or you'll be a soloist and you'll debut, which is putting out your first album, your first track, song. That's your debut. And then after debut, there's something called a promotional period. So the promotional period is where the idols go on music shows to perform their songs. They go on talk shows, radio shows, game shows. They appear in ads and commercials to try and promote themselves. They go and do special events on social media now. It's more popular. They do like a TikTok trend or something. They do V-Lives. V-Live is a streaming app in Korea, but it's accessible here. It's like Instagram Live. The purpose of the promotional period is obviously to promote. They promote themselves, they promote their group, they promote their song. Idol culture.
Oh gosh, okay. Okay, so what is idol culture? So if you've never heard of idol culture before, Carina kind of mentioned it earlier, but it's mostly about the interaction between the fans and the idols. So it's the way it's put together and marketed and all of that. So I would say for fandom basics, if you've ever heard any type of fandom name, that's what this is. So like if you've heard Beliebers or Directioners, so K-pop does the same thing. So for BTS, you're called ARMY, or for Blackpink, you're called a Blink. It's the same thing, but I feel like it's a little bit more important that you stand that one group and that you're called that one thing. But yeah, so oh gosh, what's next? Light sticks. All right. So if you see on this table, right, we all got what these are called. These are called light sticks. Okay. They turn on just like that. They can change colors. They can do a lot of really fun things. So basically, the point of having these light sticks, it's just like any festival that you go to, and you get like a little, just kind of temporary light stick. But these are a lot more important than that, and it's basically the way to signify what group you support, and it's just really amazing in concert. You can sync with the concert, and the whole crowd will change colors and things like that, and it's really amazing. Oh yeah, if you look on the screen, I'm not sure who that is, but Twice. Oh, Twice. This is Twice.
She's a K-pop group. Very popular K-pop group.
Yes. All right. Yes.
Sorry.
Fan-made projects.
Oh, so fan-made projects. All right. So if you see, these are kind of similar, but these are banners right here. It's got the members' faces on it, and it's got their name and their slogan. So fan-made projects can be anything between ads or commercials or billboards or just having banners with their names or like a quote on it that relates to that group. So like for concerts, usually when a K-pop group tours, they'll have a fan project each tour stop, and it'll say something different specific to that stop, or if it's if a member has a birthday. It's a really interactive way to kind of connect for a moment, because it's like you're giving something back to them while they're giving to you. Yeah, it's really great. All right, and so fan signs. I will give a little example, kind of. So pretend we're idols, right? And you're a fan, right? This is the process. So you would have to go to a store and buy a bunch of albums. Every time you buy an album, you get put into like a big jar, you know? And if you get your name picked, you gotta do a fan sign. So this is what happens after you get to a fan sign. You'll have an album, and so you get to come through, and you get to, every member signs your album, and you get to just kind of have a fan meet. It's really interactive, more than normal, but it's really a really good interactive way. And idols, they'll do a lot during those fan signs like this. That's a good example. All right, Courtney.
Well,
Hello. So hard pressing this mic down. All right. So with being in companies and stuff, once they do debut or get ready to debut, they sign a 7-year contract. So with that 7-year contract, the company and them have, of course, like a contract between them saying this is the amount of money, blah, 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 this is how we're doing things. So once that starts coming to an end, the group and the company will decide if they stay or pretty much disband, in other words, breaking up the group. There are times where contracts actually get terminated between company and group. There's one example, there was a group called VAP at one point. I know I'm an oldie, so I apologize if nobody knows who that is. But there was a big thing about how they were very mistreated by the company. So they actually sued the company for mistreatment and everything. Oh, the Rose also did that. I totally forgot about that. The Rose also did that too. But they came to an agreement at one point, and then after the agreement, like a little bit later, they started getting mistreated again and ended up terminating the contracts. But one recently that disbanded, well, not disbanded, they left the company, GOT7. So they left the company, but they're still promoting as GOT7, even though each and every one of them is in their own companies and doing solo projects with the companies. They are planning to still be together and able to still make music as a group. I love them so much.
So, now that you kind of have like a minimal idea on how K-pop, the behind the scenes of K-pop works and how K-pop comes to be, the beginning and the end, let's look into what makes K-pop so interesting and appealing to us, to the fans. So, a big part, which I know probably a lot of you, if you go to your local Target or Walmart, you will see these giant booklets with the K-pop groups on them. And you're probably like, oh, what's so special about an album? It's probably just like a jewel case and a CD. Wrong. So idol groups actually sell a lot of physical copies of their own albums because it comes with extra stuff. It's not just a CD. They usually come with a photo book, which is basically, it's a book of photos of the styling around the aesthetic of the album. It's kind of like a mini magazine, which is really cool. And also will come with extra inserts like photo cards or postcards and even posters along with the CD. And I bet, what makes these albums so special? Like, it's just a book with a CD and maybe some stuff. Well, they're collectibles. A lot of us collect albums because they're special to us, and there's limited stuff that comes with these certain albums, such as limited photo cards that come inside the albums relating to only that version, or a certain poster that comes with that one, or even a limited version of an album, because a lot of groups also do multiple versions of the same album music-wise, but each version of the album will be a different styling, which is really, really interesting. And also, there's a different style of album called a Kino album, and it's a digital copy. It's a half digital, half physical copy. It comes with freebies, extra photo cards, but this is a Kino, and you have a special app on your device, and you can connect it to the Kino and have the album play on a digital format. Really? Yeah, they're cool.
I have one too.
Woohoo! That's albums. Subunits.
Subunits are really you know, they're a basic concept. It's not really K-pop specific, I guess. But it's usually when a group that is still together, they have not disbanded, they'll break up into smaller groups. Like Luna YY. It has, how many members are in Luna? 12? 12. There's 12 of them in the group in total, but Luna YY has 4 members, and they make music and they promote the tracks, but they still are a part of the same group. If that makes logical sense. More about subunits, that's you.
More subunits? There's some groups that are made entirely out of subunits. Like 17, they have 3 units. The vocal team, the hip hop team, yeah, there's no batteries. The vocal team, hip hop team, and performance team. They got put into these teams because of what they're best at. They can still do the other roles, and they really switch a lot, and they still perform together, but they have songs separate. And NCT is like 23 members, and they're still growing. They have so many units. They have NCT 127, they have NCT U, they have NCT Dream, and they have Wavy, which is their Chinese unit. The reason they have like a different name is because there was this like whole scandal with China, and they didn't, the trade borders. Silly trade borders. And also they're debuting an American unit soon called NCT Hollywood. And Japan. Shotaro. Okay, yeah. Music styles in K-pop. I know, I'm talking a lot. This is Hoshi. He's helping me. He's from 17. I love him. The main music styles in like mainstream K-pop are dance and EDM, hip-hop and rap, R&B and ballad, and then rock. Rock is like on and off. I wanted to talk about, there's like some really cool big trends in K-pop where like everyone's doing like one style of music. When K-pop started getting like more like big with groups like SHINee and FX, it was like really hard dance EDM dubstep. Yeah, until 2015. In 2014, there was like a really short-lived like women empowerment. Like everyone was singing about like yay women, and then yeah, it fell off after like a few months. 2015, I can't read that. That's really small. Retro. SHINee again, trendsetters. They did a bunch of retro concepts, funky. After SHINee stopped doing it, everyone else stopped doing it. And then Latin, around like, you know, Despacito. It literally reached every corner of the world. So K-pop for a while was just doing Latin style songs. And a lot of the K-pop songs were, the title of the song were in Spanish. And they would sing in Spanish a bit. They also collaborated with a lot of actual Latin artists, like Super Junior with, I forgot her name. Oh, then there's the summer beach trend, which was a lot of girl groups. Girls' Generation started it. It was really like, everyone was on the beach. It was really, yeah. And then it stopped when Girls' Generation stopped doing it. Then recently, there's been the biggest trend I've seen in a while. Everyone was doing retro again, but it was like disco-y. That was started by BTS's Dynamite. I don't know if you've heard of that. Yeah, literally, everyone was doing it. And then it stopped. It was pretty long-lived though, but recently there's been no other trends in K-pop.
I would say more like house funk.
It's my turn. It's my turn, ladies and gentlemen, and they thems. So, choreography in K-pop. Choreography in K-pop is heavily inspired by a lot of different elements. Like, it can be really any style of dance. Like, it goes hand in hand with the one that Eunsung was talking about. With what? Oh, sorry. But a lot of it is based on a specific style of jazz that was really pioneered by Fosse, who really like developed the Broadway jazz genre. He's best known for works like Chicago, Cabaret, and A Chorus Line for people that are theater nerds. K-pop also derives inspiration from the American hip-hop community, like whacking and voguing and just, regular street hip-hop. And obviously whacking and voguing was, found in the LGBTQ plus clubs, as they should. But there are some examples. I don't know if we probably won't have time to play them, but there are some examples of, whacking and voguing and hip-hop and Fosse, everything. It's all in K-pop, which really inspires a lot of people to.
Definitely check it out.
It definitely inspires a lot of people to do dancing. Yeah. Next. Oh yeah, I forgot. I had 2 slides. Yeah, there's also same thing with what Eunsung had mentioned earlier with trends. The trends also follow on dances, especially on TikTok. A lot of Western trends on TikTok translate over to Korea like really fast, and vice versa with like Rollin', which was a song made by Brave Girls like a couple years ago, and it blew up like over the spring break. Like Russian Roulette. I don't know what song it went viral to. No, that's not right. Ignore them. That's not right. That's definitely not right. I don't know, and I don't care anymore. But there's Dumb Drum. There's Dumb Drum, which I don't know if that's even how it's pronounced, but it's A-Pink's. It's A-Pink's dance, and it was like a weird arm thing, and it went a little viral. But Russian Roulette significantly got more viral than A-Pink's. Oh, survival shows. Survival shows, they're another form of how groups can be formed, other than the traditional just auditioning. Excuse me. Usually the groups that are formed on these survival shows are temporary. They have a shorter contract than the usual 7-year contract, like a 4-year contract, but they can have permanent groups. Usually they have trainees, boys and girls. They're usually separate. There aren't that many unisex groups. There's only like 2. From companies, these people, they come to participate. Most of them get eliminated, kind of like The Voice. A board of panels are like, you're good, I'm going to put you in this group, and you're bad, go home. Something that we didn't mention is that some people who train as idols, a lot of them actually never debut. They just kind of leave. So that's kind of unfortunate. Also, artists that previously debuted can leave their group temporarily to perform in these groups. Like, yeah. I don't understand that, but okay.
Not me, person.
Pass it over. Take it away.
All right, so I wanted to touch on LGBTQ in K-pop. It's not a very vast community of people in the industry that are out as LGBTQ. But the one group that was really big for being known as being LGBT was Lady. They debuted in 2005. They were an all transgender K-pop group, and they were very, very successful, but they did disband due to how the industry treated them. But since 2005, since that was like 16 years ago, because of people in the K-pop industry that have been out as LGBTQ or shown their support actively for LGBTQ, have changed the way that Korea views that community as a whole. Korea is a country that is kind of set back a couple years and has not caught up has the way that Western countries have, like America. with how they accept the LGBTQ community, and idols are setting that standard for acceptance, because a very vast majority of K-pop idols have shown their support to their fans, their LGBTQ fans. And through that support that these idols have shown, it can help the fans as well come out to their friends and family and discover their part in the community. And that's also a really big part of why a lot of people like K-pop, because of how these people are someone they can rely on without having a certain connection like you do with a friend and a family, to have like a sort of safe space for someone to go to that you know supports you. And that just gives people a lot of inspiration and confidence in themselves, and has given a lot of people a reason to really love themselves.
Okay, so questions. Anybody have any questions for us? Oh, yes.
Where's his pants? That's a valid question.
Mine specifically?
Yeah.
Like the skirt?
Oh, wait.
Who pants?
It's
Oh.
We doing a fit check?
We're fit check.
It's like one of those TikTok trends, like, my shirt is from this place, my pants are this place, and my crippling anxiety is from this place.
Okay, do you want us to go through each outfit?
No.
Oh, mine. Oh. I got the shirt from Target.
Yeah!
I got this skirt from a place called Yes Style. It's like an Asian fashion site, which is really nice. I love it a lot.
We gotta point out Lydia's crush pants.
Yeah, Lydia's cross pants!
Oh yeah.
Cross pants! Made them.
She's an artiste.
We got
Yeah.
I was gonna say yeah. She made those.
Don't do that.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Okay.
We got somebody who watches.
Does anyone have any questions for the members or about the panel? Like, it could be anything, honestly. Please give us your feedback. Please. Anything. Anyone in the crowd. Yes.
Oh, thank you. How often do you guys practice?
How often do we practice? Abby would like to answer this question.
So a lot of us are from, obviously, we're a little bit farther away. Like Ingrid lives like 3 hours away from where we usually practice.
No.
An hour and a, okay, well it feels like 3 hours because they're always late. Heart emoji. I love you. They're always late. No, but we usually practice before COVID. We would practice every Sunday, sometimes Saturday and Friday if there was a big event coming up. But because of COVID, we took a long hiatus. So usually we practice every Sunday. Although the past week leading up to this con, we practiced on Wednesday, Friday, and then the con was on Saturday. I said leading up to the con. Oh yeah, we practiced on Sunday too. Throughout the month. We only had like 3 weeks to do this.
Does anyone else have anything? Please. Hello.
How do you decide?
Huh?
How do you decide?
How do we do? Okay, this is actually a fairly. May I answer this question? Please. Okay, so when we choose to do a cover, we usually actually vote on a song that we want to do. So we have group chats and apps where we are actually able to vote and decide collectively as a group what cover we would like to do and what we would like to do in the future. And then as we decide, some members will also make a Google Sheet thing where we can all anonymously pick who we think each member of the cover that we're doing fits to the member of the dance. And so that's how we actually decided certain groups here and there. But it's actually been a very friendly experience, and there's been no fights, which is really nice. Abby would like to share something.
It sounds like we fight all the time.
Question: what time is this over again? 1? We have 5. Oh my gosh. Anyways, okay. So I would like to point out we have some goodie bags from lovely 2C K-pop. Love 2C K-pop. Their booth is towards the front of the convention center. I don't know what number it is, but it's towards. They have giant balloons, and there's a lot of people there. So
They're homies.
Yes. Trueness. How do we decide who gets what?
Do you want to do? Maybe just pick out a bag, chuck them in here.
I don't know what's in here though. I don't know what's in here though. Ladies, please. There's only one of me.
I think I know one person. May I go personally? I'll personally deliver.
That's favoritism. No, that's favoritism.
No, she came to the panel. She asked a question.
Oh, that's true. If you ask a question, you get a bag automatically. Right there, in the back.
There, all right, we got one more.
One more.
One more question.
If you ask a question, you get a bag. No pressure, except you have 4 minutes. Go. I should do that. Wow, nobody? I see how it is. No, I like the mic.
All right, guys. This is my manifest concerts in 2022. This is me manifesting concerts in 2022. Please, please.
Oh, we can watch our video. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we can play it. Will you guys leave if we play it? No. Yay!
You can leave. I mean, no one's keeping you here. But thank you.
Crystal's in this. We love Crystal. I love how the quality's crossed.
Where's the remote? Y'all hear it?
Never mind.
대굴대굴 굴러가 막힌 돌변도 살다 보면 창틀은 많이 있지만